Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you are able to hear me. Can anyone please confirm?
Yes,
Yep.
sir, we can able to hear. Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Perfect. Yeah, so in the last session, we have seen how we can install Power BI Desktop and how Power BI Desktop was there, the look and feel, and what options we are having that we came across it. And we also discussed about components of Power BI Desktop. And we are going to say an everyday and very detailed level each and every component. And today I'm going to talk about the front end. I mean to say, when you start working on Power BI, your major concentration is on visualization. We are going to concentrate more on the visualization. So that means the appearance is very important. So if user is asking to create a report or if user is asking us to visualize the data based on the business requirement, how you are going to do it. Now I'm trying to show you how we can do the basic things. These are all the purely basic. And once you understand the navigations, once you understand the options, then when we come across the dashboards, then you can feel very easy. And when the moment the user is asking, this is what I'm expecting, then you can feel when the moment you hear about that particular requirement, then you can feel that this is what I have to do to satisfy the customer or to do the requirement. So that kind of knowledge you can get if you can do it. So the main sessions are going to start from today. Okay, so once you install the Power BI desktop, installation of the Power BI desktop is very simple. And if you are facing any issue for installation, then let me know. I'll help you how we can do it installation. That is one thing. And in real time, we are not going to install anything. We are just going to use the Power BI desktop. So it will be taken care by someone else. Infra team or admin team will take care about it. Now, in today's session, I'm going to talk about two different important terms. One is slicing, slice and dice, and other one is filters. So these two are very important. If you take any report without slice and dice or without filters, we cannot expect any report or dashboard. So in not only Power BI, in every BI technologies, when you go for the BI technologies, we are going to have this kind of terms. So slice and dice means you are slicing the data. If you have some items, if you wanted to slice and see inside what it is, then or what we require that we can see it. So slice means it's like pieces in a different directions and in different dimensions. We are going to do it. That is what it is, a slice and dice. And I think Venkat is, yeah. So let me open our Power BI desktop and we'll see how exactly it is going to be slice and dice. And the right after that, slice and dice means it's a very simple guys. If I have a 1 year data, if I have a 1 year data, otherwise let me write it here. So you used to see required data from the reporting. Example, if you have a data for 1 year, if you want to see only one or specific months, then we have to slice the data. You got my point, right? This is one example. So if we have a 1 year data, let me take a snip. Let's say, for example, I'm having a 1 year data. Like today, to this year is 2024, right? So 2024 is completely 1 year. I have that means 12 months data is there. So when you have a 12 months of the data in the report, if I wanted to see any specific month, I want to see the data for only January, or I wanted to see the data for only Feb. So if you wanted to see any specific part of the year, that we can call it as a slicing. You're just taking only the piece of the data, not all the data you're taking. So if you wanted to do this, then how you're going to do it? So if you want to slice and dice the data, then we have two options. One is slicers in the report, and we have a filters. These two will be used for slicing the data. So if you wanted to see any specific range of the data, then we are going to use these two options in order to view only specific month or specific part of the data. So we have two different concepts. One is a slicer, and other is filters. So that is what we are going to have it. And even you can also take one more example. If report is showing WW data, that means worldwide data. But if user wants to see any specific country, user wants to see the data for only India, or few of the users they wanted to see the data for only UK, or few users wanted to see the data for US. So how they're going to see out of all this worldwide data, how they're going to see is by using the slicers or by using the filters. So there we are going to slice and dice the data to understand the business more in detail, what is happening and how it is happening. So for that reason, we require that. So in order to do all these things, then we need to know about these two concepts. What is this filters and what is this slicers? So let's talk about first filters, and then I'm going to talk about the slicers. Now let's come to here. I'm just going to open my Power BI desktop. How this filters panes are available and how we are going to use them. In the last session, we have seen how we can read the data from the Excel file. By using the Excel workbook, we can read the data from the Excel workbooks. So in order to do this, how we have done, we have seen, again I'm showing here as if there is any new person, they can easily understand. You just feel that this is true. From today, we are going to have the main sessions. So if you wanted to start any development, what we are going to use is, we are going to use 100% Power BI desktop. We are going to use only Power BI desktop. So let me open the Power BI desktop. You just search. Once you install, we are going to have like this. So I'm just going to hit on it. Getting opened. So whenever you are doing a practice or whenever you are going to work in the real time, if it is a brand new report, then we are going to use the blank report. So brand new report means it's not existed one. If you wanted to create a brand new report, then we are going to use option called blank report. We have to use the blank report. So let me hit on blank report. Then it opens Power BI desktop. Now here, how exactly it is available here is, just observe. This is a Power BI desktop, untitled Power BI desktop file, or one untitled. We did not give any title for this. So when you start doing any brand new development or whatever it is, the file name should be there here. That is the main priority for us. So if you start doing many things and if you didn't save your work, then you're going to lose the work. So to avoid this losing the work, we need to save the file. Save first. So save, how exactly it is going to be happened is, you can give a name and this is going to have a extension called PBIX, Power BI extension. The extension, the .pbx we're going to have when you save this file. So just observe, I'm just going to save this, how exactly it is going to be there, and hit on save. Let me hit on again. It is already opened here. So it is asking the name of the, it is asking the name of the file. I wanted to save in some folder. Let me keep that. So let me browse that location. Yeah, it's correct personally. Now I'm giving the name of the file. The name I'm giving is slice and dice, or slicers and filters. I'm just giving some name for this, and you can see here what is the extension I'm having. I'm having extension is .pbix. The star means this is the file name that I'm giving. Slices and filters, I'm going to give the name of the file, and extension is .pbix automatically. Let me hit on save. This untitled is moved and we have a slices and filters. Now I wanted to explain about this, right? So if you wanted to give a filters to the report, or if you wanted to give a slices to the report, first of all, you need to have a data. So at this point of time, I'm not talking about how we are going to prepare the data for the report. Now I'm just concentrating how we can create a filters, how we can create a slices. There's two things I'm going to talk about it. So for that, I need some sample data. I'm just going to take sample data from the Excel file. I'll share the sample file for practicing. I'll share the details from where you have to download all these data source files for practicing. Let me hit on Excel workbook to read the data from the Excel. In the last session, we have seen, and I have a file called sample file. This file is having some data. Just forget about what data is available at this point of time. Over the period of time, you can understand. These are all the sample data only. So let me take that file and hit on open to browse your Excel file into the Power BI desktop. So to read the data from the Excel file, we don't need to write a code. I told you Power BI is a code-free tool. We don't need to write a code. That means behalf of you, someone is going to write the code. Behalf of you, someone is going to generate the code. So that is what Power BI is going to do. So this is very, very simple. If you go for other places, other reporting tools, we have to write the code. Then only we can read the data. But when it comes to here, we don't need to write the code. We are just going to do the user interface clicks. Now I wanted to take, let me take customer sales details. Some data I'm just taking, some seat name I'm taking. Just take this seat, whatever the seat I'm having. I'll share this sample file and use the same sample file and do the practice. So once you check this checkbox, do not go for this one at this point of time. You just go directly load. When I hit on load, data is going to load into the Power BI desktop. Now data is loaded. So if you wanted to slice and dice the data, I told you, we are going to use the filter section, this particular part. And in the report, in the presentation also, we are going to have it. So this particular part, mostly we are going to have a slices. And this part, we are going to have a filters. So these filters will be for developers. Mostly for developers. And the slicers is for users. Users means business users. So the persons who are going to use the report for their business purpose, they're going to use these slicers. Both will be designed or both will be created by the developers only. But mostly this is specifically designed or created for specific users. I mean to say specific to users. But when it comes to here, this is purely related to developers and sometimes even users also will use it. So we can avoid them using this. Basically, the main purpose of this is for only purely developers. So if the users wants to see a filters or if they wanted to restrict the data, then we can give a slicer. Okay, so before going to the slicer, I'm going to talk about a filters only. Without asking a question about the filters, most of the interviews are not going to be completed. So surely we are going to have it. What are the different types of filters we're having? Come to here. This we can call it as this particular part, or let me say hit on it. This part. This I can call it as a filters main. Or filter section, whatever the name you wanted to call, you can call it. This we can call it as a filter section. Every developer, every day, we are going to use this, we are going to see, and without using this section, we never finish any single report. 99.99% we are going to use these filters. So if you're not using this means mostly that will be very basic report, as simple as that. Okay, so what are the different filters we are having in the Power BI? There are three different types of filters. Okay, so what there is, one is, let me write it here. These are used to restrict the data based on conditions or based on requirement. So mostly it is going to be based on requirement because we are not going to write the conditions in general. When it comes to the reporting side, we are not going to write any conditions. We are just going to select the value and see the data. There are four different types of filters. One is report level filter, and second is page level filters, and third is visual level filters, and finally fourth one is drill through filters. So they will ask surely what are the different types of filters are available in the Power BI. So when the moment they say about this, make sure you have to give this answer. and very, very important for interview. So it's an interview question. 80% of the interviews will ask this question. What are the different types of filters we're having in the Power BI? So when the moment they ask that question, you're not just going to give the types of filters, you have to talk about each and every filter. So if you can talk at least 2 to 3 minutes about that, you're going to kill the interviewer time and you're also going to give the answer. And it is very, very important. Now, so I wanted to talk about this report level filters. What do you mean by this report level filters? So report means what? If I have a multiple pages like this is a report. That means this highlighted one, the box is a report. This report is having how many pages? 4 pages. That means a report is nothing but collection of pages. Collection of pages is known as report. Okay, so if you wanted to restrict the data for all the pages, my report is having a 4 pages. My report is having a 4 pages. I wanted to apply the filter for all the pages. For the page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and so on. If I have a 10 pages, I wanted to apply for 10 pages. If I have a 5 pages, I wanted to apply for 5 pages. So that means I want to apply for the entire report. So if the business requirement demands to filter the data for entire report, then we are going to say that is a report level filters. We are going to say that is report level filter. I'm just writing this note for this. It is used to apply filter for all the pages in the report. So when we are going to use this is when the business requirement demands to restrict the data for entire report, then make sure to use report level filters. Is everyone clear with this definition? Any question? Because this is very important for interview. I hope everyone is clear on it. Now I wanted to apply the filter. First, let's bring the data. We already brought the data here. So this is a report view, a table view, and model view. When the moment you open the Power BI desktop, the file is going to sit with the report view. And if you wanted to see how data is there in the tables, then you can just hit on the table view. The table view is going to have a data something like this. You can see here how data is there. So this is a data. We already know it. So data cannot be understandable. Data cannot be readable. So to make this understandable, then we need to go for the reporting. Now let's come to here. I wanted to create a one small report for applying these filters, how we can apply these filters. I wanted to visualize some data, then you can understand easily. I have a category name and I have a unit price. So I wanted to say how this unit price is there by category. Just observe. Expand this when you select this data, you can get this data pane. This part you're going to get it. Just expand this button. If you hit on that button, so when you hit on this button, you're going to have the data like this. So what you have to do is you just select the unit price. I just selected a unit price. When the moment I selected unit price, you can see a total value of the unit price is getting. So I did not do anything here. Automatically it is getting displayed. In the same way, there are few things we are getting options here. There's two sections. This is a suggest visual. Who is going to suggest your visual? Your Power BI is going to suggest the visual. So when you go in this particular place in the suggestions, it is going to show the various visuals. It gives or shows a visuals. Whatever the visual is suitable or the list of visuals is going to show in this particular section. The second part, this particular part is going to have a formatting. We are going to have a formatting. So how we can do formatting, we'll see that later. We have a separate talk about this. And in the same suggest visual, you can see here, I have a data also. I selected a unit price and this is coming sum of unit price. So sum of unit price means it is adding all the unit price and giving the value here. And I wanted to slice this. I wanted to break this by category. In which category, how much volume of the data is there or how much unit price is there for category wise, I wanted to say that. So if that is the case, we just leave it as it is. And I'm just going to check the product category name. You can see here, product category name. Hit on this checkbox. So when the moment I check this checkbox, automatically the visual is changed. So when there is only one field, the visual is a card. We'll talk about it. What is the card and what are the different visuals we're having? We are going to talk about all those things. Just leave everything. If you see here, there is a bubbles are there for this chart. And if you want to bring that down, you can bring it. If you want to do like this, you can just hold your mouse and you can adjust it. So when you're doing a first time practice, I always recommend a single page, single visual. Just keep one visual in one page. So that will be the best option so that you can have a clear practice on it. Just click outside, then that box will go. And if you select this, then these two options will come, build your visual and format your visual. So if you want to change anything in the visual, you can hit on it. Or if you want to format it, you can go for this. So what is this format options? We'll see that later. Now I have a data here, home appliances, computers, for TV and videos. There is some volume of the data is there. You can see here how much unit price is there for this, how much unit price is for computers, how much unit price is for cell phones, and so on. I wanted to keep the same even in the first page. Just copy and paste, Control C and Control V. And here I'm going to show in a different, I mean to say, instead of going with the product category name, I wanted to show with the region country name. Based on the region country name, I wanted to filter it. So this is, I'm just giving a page name, price by category, and this is price by country. So here I'm going to take a price by state province. Just check this checkbox. price by state. That's fine. So these 3 pages are enough for me to explain about it. So one is price by category, price by country, and price by state. How we can design this, we'll talk about it. So here my intention is not talking about reporting development. My intention is to talk about the filter section. Now this data is showing for the entire categories. So what I wanted to apply a filter is, I wanted to bring the data for all the countries except France. Okay, so just observe here. Create a report to show unit price for all the countries except France. So this is the requirement. My report should show only data for except France. So excluding France, without France, I wanted to show the data in the price by category, price by country, and price by state. Without France, I wanted to do it. So if you wanted to do this, I have to apply a filter in the page 1. I have to apply a filter in the page 2. If I wanted to apply a filter in the page 3 also. If you have a 3 pages is fine. If you have 100 pages, applying in each and every page is difficult. So what we have to do is we have to apply for the entire report. So here my business requirement is demanding to apply the filter for the entire report. So if you want to do that, then what you have to do is just observe. I have a region country name. You just right click on it. You can see there is a filters called add filters. Hit on add filters and you can find there is a report level filters. So report level filters are filters which are used to filter the data for the entire report. Now hit on this filter, report level filter. When the moment I hit on report level filter, it will come into the filter section. Again, I'm just taking out from the filter section. Let's redo it again. Right click on the region country, add filters, report level filters. Hit on report level filter. Now it is coming to here. You can see here. This is a region country name. This is one navigation. Other navigation also I'll show you. Just expand this filter section. Drag and drop your region country in filters on all the pages. You can see here report level filters means filters on all the pages. Page level filters means filters on this page. This is a page level filters. Page level filters. And this is a report level filters. So if you want to bring that, then just bring that field into this particular area. Just drag and drop it. Just observe. Just drag and drop into filters on all the pages. So when the moment I keep it here, you're going to have the options here. There are few options. So when you start doing the practice, then only you can remember all these options. You can collapse it and you can expand it. Collapse it, expand it. And next to that, we have a close thing. You can see when I move the cursor here, expand or collapse filter card. You can see here remove filters. If you want to remove it, you can hit on it. If you want to lock this, you can lock it. So if you lock it, no one can change the value here. And there is an icon, hide filters. If you want to hide this, we can also hide it. We'll see these options when the time comes. At this point of time, I wanted to apply a filter to show my entire report excluding France numbers, excluding France data. I wanted to show it. Then expand this filter now, select all and uncheck this France. Just uncheck this France. Now France is not available. France related data is not available here. You can also check here. No France data. And here also no France data. And how do we know these numbers are correct? How we can identify, how we can confirm these numbers are correct? We'll see how we can do the data validation in the later sessions. So here, how we can apply a filter is my main concern here. Now I can see here what it is saying, not France. I did not write any code for this. And if you wanted to take any specific countries, then I can take a specific countries. It's all depends on the requirement it is going to be happen. So that is about a report level filters. And page level filters. If I wanted to apply any filters specific to the page, if I wanted to apply a filter for specific to the page, then that we can call it as a page level filters. So this is also is part of your interview question only. So let me give the definition for that. Page level filters. It is used to apply filter for a specific page in the report. So when we are going to use this, when the business requirement, when the business requirement demands to restrict the data, for any specific page, then make sure to use page level filters. Example I am showing here. Apply a filter in the page. I'm just giving a specific page. The specific page is price by category. Price by category. Apply a filter in the page. The page name is price by category to show only Germany data. I wanted to show only Germany data. Then if I wanted to do that, just right click on the region country name, add filters. Now we need to take a page level filters. We need to take a page level filters. Hit on page level filters. Then you can see all the options here. So I wanted to choose the same options, the same navigation, the way you're going to do for the entire report in the same to same you're going to do. Only the positions are going to change. Previously it was filters on all pages. Now filters on this page. I wanted to show this page for only Germany data. Just select only Germany and collapse it. Now this particular page is going to show the data for only Germany. So price by category and Germany. You can give the name, something like that. So this report is showing for only Germany data. Or instead of giving it a page name here like this, you can also say in the title. When the moment they say the title, they can understand this particular title or the particular page is going to show the data for only Germany. So we'll see how we can do the titling for the report in the future sessions. So just concentrate on the filters. And the next filter I'm having is visual level filter. So visual level means if you want to restrict the data for any specific visual, then we're going to use this. Visual level filters. It is used to apply filter for specific visual. So specific visual means that is going to be there in the page. Okay, so specific page is going to be there in the report and specific visual is going to be there in the page. When the business requirement demands to restrict the data for any specific visual, then we can use visual level filters. This is also is very, very important. We are going to call it as a visual level filters. Now, example for this is just observe before going to that. I'm just taking a two visuals here. So then only you can understand because that is a visual level filters and page level filters. So this is by a province here it is having, and I wanted to show this by subcategory. Let me take this and take out this state province name and add. There is, yeah, here subcategory name. You just select the checkbox. Okay. So one page is having at the subcategory level and other page is having at the state level. That is fine. I wanted to see a data for only cell phones in this visual. This visual is expecting to show the data for only cell phones. Then all the subcategories of the cell phones, I wanted to see it. I don't want to see other products, other categories. I wanted to say specific to this. Then if we have that kind of requirement, then we are going to apply a filter called a visual level filter. We are going to apply a filter called visual level filter. Just if you want to apply that, then you have to select a visual. If you don't select it, if you try to see what filters are available, you can find, let's right click on the category because we are going to apply a filter on the category. If you see this add filters, you are not able to see the visual level filter. You're able to see only page level and you're able to see report level. But when the moment to select and see the same navigations, right click on the category, add filters. Now you can see there is a visual level filter because you selected the visuals. You selected the visual. So if you want to apply a filter for a specific visual, keep in mind selecting the visual. You have to make sure to select the visual, then only you can do it. Otherwise, you cannot do it. Okay, so that is the main thing. Now I selected it. I wanted to apply a filter. Just observe in price by state. I'm just keeping here one note. Keep two visuals in the price by state. One visual is with price by subcategory, and second visual is price by state. So here I'm trying to apply a filter for price by category. So price by category, price by subcategory for only cell phones. So if you have this kind of requirement, then make sure we have to apply a visual level filter. Hit on visual level filter. Now you can see here filters on this visual. I have a filters on all the pages we have come across it, and filters on this page. This page is not having a page level filter. This page is having a filters on this visual, means visual level filter. That is product category. Just expand this and take only cell phones. So when the moment I select only cell phones, you can see here it is showing the data for only cell phone subcategories. Touchscreen phones, smartphones, home office phones. These are all coming under cell phones. Now, how do we know what type of filters are applied on the visual? You just see here there is a symbol. When you move the cursor here, you can see it. This is a filter symbol. This filter symbol says what filters are applied on this. A recent country name is excluding with France. France is excluded. So this is a report level filter. This entire report is getting, because report level filter means it is going to show here. And this is a visual level filter here. We know that cell phones excluded from this visual. Sorry, we are showing only for cell phone. So that is one thing. And we have seen somewhere, we have seen page level filter, right? Yeah. So this is a page level filter. Recent country name, this page is showing data for only Germany. So this is a page level filter and this is a report level filter. So until unless you see this filter section, you cannot come across this is a page level filter or visual level filter or report level filter. By moving the cursor, we cannot understand it. But we can understand what filters are applied on the report or what filters are applied on the visual. So most of the times users comes to you, data is not matching. So mostly they may forget about choosing right filters, and they may have a filter differences between two items. When they're saying numbers are not matching, there should be two things. One is their version and another is your version. So they're going to compare these two things. Okay, so simple. And one more example I'll give. I'm a salesperson. Okay, just imagine. I'm a salesperson. I'm going to be part of the business. I sold only 10 items. 10 items and so on so date or whatever it is. When I see the report is designed for the business. When this particular salesperson wanted to say how many items I sold, I wanted to see in my report. If it is not showing 10, then that particular user, that particular business person or salesperson understand a report is not showing right numbers. I sold 10, but report is showing 8. So there is a discrepancy. How we are going to do the validation, those things we'll talk about it later. Just today's session concentrates on how the filters are going to be there. What are the different types of filters we're having? And the one more thing is the modes of the filter options. There are few different options are there in the filter section. For everything, we are going to have it. Just observe. This is a report level filter. When I hit on this drop down, you can see the options here. Basic filtering. This basic filtering is also having a advanced filtering. So when I choose this advanced filtering, what options we are going to get, you can see here. A different options we are having here. So we'll come across this later and how exactly it is going to be there. But basic filtering you're going to have, advanced we are going to have, and basic is common for any kind of data. Basic is common for, no one will ask in the interview guys about this. Surely they're going to ask in the interview this. This is for your knowledge purpose and this is for your understanding. And in the report, at the time of reporting, we are going to use. We are going to do it in real time. but very less chances to ask in the interview. So basic and advanced options and relative is important, and top N also is important. If you wanted to show top 5 subcategories or top 5 countries or top 5 sales, then we are going to use this top N. So at the time of report design, we'll see some of the options for all these things. At the time of dashboard creation, at the time of project, I'll walk you through what options are suitable for my requirement. So you can feel they are very easy. So these are all the modes of filters. And this is common for everyone, and this is also common for everyone. And relative is only for date. So relative is only for date and time. And top N is for only a visual. Visual level will be there. Visual level and is also suitable for a date and time and text. Okay, so we'll see when the moment comes when you're working or when we're going through the project, then you can easily understand this. So these options we are going to have in this particular place. Okay, so I'm stopping here and I'm just saving this file. So whenever you are doing a changes, uh, you have to save the file frequently, at least every 5 or 10 minutes. Save the file so that we are not going to lose our changes. Okay. So now the time to ask a questions. If you have a question, you can ask me. Any question, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I'll share that sample data and you'll get that so that you can start doing the practice. And Sanjay will keep in touch with you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir.